Before we start, quick clarity for Broncos Country. This video is analysis and perspective, not insider information. Not breaking news. Not a report. Everything discussed here is based on publicly available context, league-wide patterns, and on-field football analysis. Nothing here replaces official announcements, press conferences, or team statements. With that clear, let's talk about where the Denver Broncos appear to be headed, and why the direction matters more than the noise. Hey, Broncos Country, what's up? This is that part of the NFL calendar where the games stop, the emotions cool down, and the real thinking begins. No whistles. No SCOREBOARDS. Just evaluation. Sitting here in early 2026, the feeling around Denver is balanced. Not hype. Despair. Somewhere in the middle. The Broncos are coming off one of their stronger recent seasons, a year that showed progress, but also revealed where refinement is still needed. There were stretches where this team looked composed, physical, and competitive against high-level opponents. There were also moments where timing, efficiency, and offensive rhythm didn't consistently match the standard recorrido. Separate from the pack, that combination usually leads to one thing in the NFL: honest evaluation. Evaluation doesn't mean panicked, it means alignment. One of the quieter, but more meaningful developments this offseason is continuity on the defensive side, publicly reported across established outlets. Denver retains defensive coordinator Vance Joseph. Around the league, many head coaching vacancies leaned toward offensive candidates. That outcome means Denver avoids a defensive reset. From an analytical standpoint, that matters. Defensive systems thrive on familiarity, communication, spacing, timing, and trust. Keeping that structure intact allows players to play faster instead of relearning terminology. Last season, the defense consistently showed discipline up front, clarity in coverage, and adaptability week to week. Those traits don't happen by accident. They're built through repetition and shared language. Continuity preserves that foundation. On the offensive side, the conversation shifts. Not louder. Not dramatic. Just more nuanced. Public comments from within the organization have acknowledged that offensive efficiency remains an area for growth. That acknowledgement doesn't assign blame. It signals intent. Just to be clear as we move forward, any discussion about coaching structure, play calling roles, or offensive workflow is hypothetical and based on historical league patterns, not confirmation. When offenses are evaluated, teams often look inward before looking outward, not because it's safer, but because continuity preserves rhythm. Especially for young quarterbacks, public discussion around Denver has included internal coaching roles tied to quarterback development and passing game structure. That doesn't indicate a finalized decision. It reflects an evaluation process. Internal continuity can allow evolution without forcing a full schematic reset. That distinction matters more than headlines. One of the most common questions fans ask is about play calling. Also one of the most misunderstood topics in the league. Play calling responsibility is not about control. It's about bandwidth. Across the NFL, even elite offensive head coaches periodically reassess how responsibilities are distributed, not to step back, but to operate more efficiently. Delegation doesn't reduce authority. It refines focus. It allows a head coach to zoom out. Situational football, clock management, game flow, and staff coordination. Any potential adjustment in Denver would follow that logic. Optimization, not ego. For a quarterback continuing to develop, environment matters. Bo Nix has shown growth in command at the line, communication, and processing speed. Like most young quarterbacks, the next step is consistency, especially in timing-based situations. Sand inside the red zone. That growth doesn't happen in isolation. It's shaped by language, repetition, and structure. Quarterbacks develop fast. Test 1, Teaching remains consistent even as concepts evolve. One of the clearest evaluation points on film is offensive identity. There were stretches of balance, but not sustained rhythm. In this league, a dependable run game stabilizes everything else. It simplifies reads, slows pass rushers, and creates space for play action. Denver's offensive line personnel suggests the capability to support that approach, provided scheme and execution align. That alignment doesn't happen overnight. It's built through off-season emphasis and repetition. Red zone efficiency remains another focal point. Opportunities existed, conversions lagged. When that happens, the causes are usually predictable: spacing, sequencing, and defensive anticipation. Those are correctable elements, not permanent flaws. Improvement in this area often comes from better play sequencing, disguise, and patience, not reinvention. Refinement. Zooming out. Coaching evaluation directly impacts roster planning. How a team wants to win determines how it drafts, who it prioritizes, and where development resources are invested. Denver enters this phase with continuity on defense, flexibility in planning, and a quarterback still ascending. That combination creates options, not guarantees. Within a division that remains competitive, stability becomes leverage. Some teams reset. Some chase, some recalibrate. Denver appears focused on refundamentrather, then reaction. That approach doesn't dominate headlines. It doesn't trend on social media. It shows up later, when preparation matters more than noise. Sustainable organizations tend to move quietly. They evaluate honestly. They adjust deliberately. Avoid reactionary swings. That doesn't guarantee success, but it improves probability. 4. A franchise that has spent years searching for clarity, operating with calm and intention, meaningful progress in itself. None of this guarantees wins. Evaluations can miss. Adjustments can stall. The NFL is unforgiving, but from a process standpoint, the Broncos appear to be moving with purpose, not urgency. And sometimes, that's exactly how the next step begins. Broncos Country. Do you see progress in this approach, or just another phase of uncertainty? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk it through. Go Broncos.